My family sold the car while I was gone. No call. No warning. And when I asked why, they said, "You were never using it." They were right. I was too busy building something they'd eventually need. My name is Tessa Brooks, and that betrayal in the summer of 2022 ignited a fire I didn't know I had. I was 29, a determined woman with a knack for automotive restoration and a fledgling idea for a custom car shop, Lone Star Rides, still in its early sketches with no revenue yet. It happened in Austin, Texas, the city buzzing with live music and the scent of barbecue, when I returned from a month-long restoration course in Detroit to find my vintage Mustang gone. My family, my father, a used car dealer, and my older brother, his right-hand man, had sold it without a word, their excuse a casual shrug over dinner at our family home in East Austin. "You were never driving it," my father said, his voice gruff, my brother nodding in agreement, the clink of forks against plates amplifying the silence. But beneath my stunned silence, I held a secret. I'd secured a small business loan to launch Lone Star Rides, a venture they'd mocked as a hobby. That night, alone in my cramped apartment near South Congress, the distant strum of a guitar a lonely sound, I opened my notebook, my hands steady with resolve. The path ahead would turn their dismissal into my triumph. The car's sale was a gut punch, a betrayal that cut deeper than I'd expected. My father, Harold Brooks, had been my mentor. Weekends spent tinkering with engines in his lot, late-night talks about classic cars, dreams of building something together, until his focus shifted to profit over passion. Raised in Austin's working-class neighborhoods, I'd grown up under his shadow, learning the trade, but his dealership left no room for my vision. The sale, executed with a cold efficiency while I was away, felt like a disownment, my brother's complicity adding salt to the wound, their excuse a flimsy justification that fueled my anger. I was an only daughter among two sons, shaped by a mother who'd taught me resilience before her passing, and now that strength surged. The pain sparked a resolve. I'd build a car shop to outshine their lot, prove my worth, and perhaps one day reclaim more than they'd taken. I took my notebook to a cozy coffee shop on Lamar Boulevard, its aroma of roasted beans a comfort, sketching Lone Star Rides plans with fierce determination. By August 2022, I'd saved $8,000 from odd restoration gigs, my focus sharpening with each blueprint. The journey was relentless, a test of endurance. I balanced startup work and freelance restorations, sleeping 5 hours a night, my hands stained with grease and my mind buzzing with designs. I'd conceived Lone Star Rides during a late-night session, a custom shop for eco-friendly restorations, now valued at $12,000 in potential. My family's sale shaped a strategy. I'd grow my venture, target their market, and turn their doubt into my drive. I contacted a mentor, mechanic Ray Torres, costing $2,500 for guidance, my savings hitting $10,500 by September 2022. I worked 60-hour weeks, perfecting prototypes, earning a $1,800 fee from a local collector, my resolve hardening with each weld. Building Lone Star Rides demanded grit. I analyzed my father's market, his dealership with $3 million revenue, spotting gaps in his outdated inventory. I hired Ray, his expertise a guide, and gathered data. Declining sales, customer complaints, his reliance on mass-produced models. My savings rose to $12,000, and I invested $5,000 in a small garage space for testing, projecting $10,000 returns. I attended a car show on September 10, 2022, networking with enthusiasts, my pitch bold. A vintage car owner, impressed by my eco-focus, offered parts deals, but my father's presence, smirking from his booth, rattled me. Doubts crept in. Could I outmatch him? Would his influence block me? I pressed on, drafting a business plan on a cafe napkin, the ink smudging with spilled coffee, a symbol of my dual struggles. The confrontation simmered. I invited Ray to my apartment on September 15, 2022, my heart pounding. He arrived, his toolbox heavy with notes. I spread the analysis. My father's weaknesses, his market gaps. You can disrupt him, he said, his voice confident. His clients want unique. I called a former coworker, Mia, who'd left my father's lot seeking insight. She visited, her face tense, the data in my hands. He's stubborn but losing ground, she warned. Watch your back. The truth was daunting. Opportunity laced with risk, igniting my ambition. The shift was empowering. I expanded Lone Star Rides, securing a $7,000 contract with a local film crew for custom vehicles, my savings climbing to $15,000. My venture valuation hit $20,000, but the rivalry consumed me. Mia called, cautioning about my father's allies, but I hung up, her warning a hurdle. Lone Star Rides thrived, booking $2,500 in pre-orders. My focus turned to growth, launching a Star Rise crowdfunding campaign, earning $2,000 in pledges. But tension brewed. A rival mechanic, Vince Carter, began undercutting my parts deals, his tone smug, his shop echoing mine. I uncovered his tie to my father, his old partner, costing me a $3,000 contract. A supplier cut my eco parts, citing pressure from my father's network. I tensed. Was this Vince's sabotage or a family-orchestrated move? Standing amid the garage chaos, the business plan in hand, I felt my father's dismissal and a rising challenge. What was next? Hey, Revenge Tempest fans. Tessa's journey from car sale to car lot is epic. Loved it? Smash that subscribe button and join our crew. Drop a comment and tell us where you're watching from. The cut eco parts deal and Vince Carter's undercut prices lingered in my mind as I stood in my Austin garage, the hum of traffic from South Congress filtering through the open door. The thrill of building Lone Star Rides, my father's rival, backed by the Star Rise campaign, felt like a fragile victory against this mounting pressure, the air thick with the scent of oil and ambition. My hands brushed the incomplete prototype, my father's casual car sale a stark contrast to my progress, a memory that fueled my drive. The supplier's refusal to restock was unexplained, Ray Torres's guidance a flickering hope amid the market's tension. Was Vince sabotaging me, leveraging his partnership with my father? Or was this a family-orchestrated move to stifle my rise? My pulse quickened, but I steadied myself with a deep breath, the clang of tools a rhythmic companion. The crowdfunding earned $2,200 monthly, my savings at $15,000, and Lone Star Rides thrived with $2,700 monthly from pre-orders. Yet the challenge hinted at a deeper rivalry. I reworked the prototype, determined to push on, and called Ray, his voice a steady anchor over the line. Keep building, he said. We'll outmaneuver them. I nodded, plotting my next showcase. The next morning, I met Ray at a mechanics hub near East Austin, the scent of freshly welded metal and coffee grounding me amid the market's buzz, the chatter of workers a steady pulse. His keen eyes scanned the supplier rejection and Vince's price sheets, the paper edges curling from handling. This is targeted pressure, he said, his notepad open. Expand your reach and secure new vendors. Your father's the target. I agreed, my mind racing. I contacted EcoParts distributors, launching a Star Surge funding drive to grow Lone Star Rides, costing $6,500 and dipping my savings to $8,500. At my garage, I briefed my team, 2 restorers, a parts coordinator. In the workspace, the air warm with the hum of machinery. We're challenged, I explained, showing the evidence. Their faces set with resolve, they committed to the fight. My venture valuation hit $25,000, but the stakes rose with every weld. My ascent intensified, a surge of purpose. I expanded Lone Star Rides, securing a $8,000 contract with a local film production for custom builds, and invested $7,000 in alternative eco-suppliers, projecting $14,000 returns. My savings climbed to $9,500, and I upgraded the garage with secure storage, working 18-hour days to refine designs amid the city's competitive edge. Mia called, her voice laced with concern, urging me to avoid my father's retaliation, but I hung up, her caution a hurdle. The film deal added $4,500 monthly, boosting my momentum. Ray's update unsettled me. Vince had been seen at my father's lot, his restorations mimicking my style, and his alliance with him fueled his interference. "He's guarding your father's turf," Ray said. "But the lot's struggling." The rivalry burned in my mind, a fire I couldn't extinguish. The pressure escalated a week later. A showcase pitch was disrupted. Vince's team spread rumors of my inexperience, costing me a $3,500 deal. No threat, just a sting. My stomach tightened. I called Ray, who suggested a public demo to expose Vince's tactics. I reinforced the garage, spending $4,500 on vendor contracts, and hired a part-time assistant, a detail-oriented organizer named Carlos. The police noted the rumors, Vince's voice on a call but no legal action, while Ray traced his supplier ties, hinting at a grudge. Paranoia crept in, every delivery a potential ambush, yet I pushed forward. I leveraged the funding drive's buzz, launching a Star Live demo series that booked $5,800, lifting my income. Vince confronted me, calling from his shop, his tone smug. "Tessa, you're out of your league," he taunted. "Back off." I hung up, but curiosity gnawed. Ray dug deeper, uncovering Vince's past rivalry with my father over a partnership, a bond turned bitter. "He's using you to settle scores," he warned. I faced Vince at a car show, Carlos nearby. "Why copy me?" I demanded. He smirked. "Your father's decline helps us both." I left, his words a puzzle, but the rivalry hinted at a shared agenda. I mounted a counterstrike. With Ray's help, I streamed the demo, showcasing my eco builds against Vince's copies, drawing 1,200 viewers. I boosted my outreach, securing a $12,000 contract with a local rally, pushing my valuation to $40,000. The rally team monitored my work, easing my nerves. But tension mounted. A demo was cut short. Power surge, Vince's laughter audible. The police logged it, but proof was thin. I called Ray, who suggested a personal angle given Mia's hints. The stream gained traction. I compiled evidence. Ray's reports, Vince's rumors, show footage. Working late to refine it, my garage lit by a workbench lamp. Vince offered a $11,000 truce to end the demos. "Let's collaborate," he pressed. "No," I told Ray. "I want the lot." The next live event arrived, a virtual crowd of 1,700. Vince scowled as I revealed his build thefts, my father's name surfacing. The chat buzzed, viewers rallied, and Vince's reputation dipped. As I signed off, he muttered, "You'll regret this." That night, a legal notice from my father's dealership counsel slid under the door. "Cease rivalry or face review." No court, just pressure. I froze. Who sent it? Vince's move? My father's defense? The victory felt fragile, a new obstacle rising. I called Ray, who promised a counterplan. My rise was gaining, but the pressure. Hey, revenge Tempest fans. Tessa's journey from car sale to car lot is epic. Loved it? Smash that subscribe button and join our crew. Drop a comment and tell us where you're watching from. The legal notice from my father's dealership and the mounting pressure from a sabotaged supply chain haunted me as I stood in my Austin garage, the distant hum of live music from 6th Street weaving through the night air, a reminder of the stakes. The thrill of outpacing my father Harold with Lone Star rides, bolstered by the Star Live demo series, felt fragile against this human-engineered tension, the air thick with the scent of oil and resolve. My breath caught as I reread the notice. Cease rivalry or face review. An unknown force from my father's automotive empire contrasting my rising success. The paper crisp but weighty in my hands. The police probe into Vince Carter's interference had stalled. Tangled in bureaucracy, Ray Torres's strategy a lifeline amid the chaos of market manipulation. Who was behind this? Vince's network, driven by his grudge? My father's allies shielding his pride? Or a dealership coalition I hadn't yet unmasked? I dialed Ray, my voice steady despite the knot in my chest, the phone warm from my grip. Push through, I said, my words of vow resonating with the city's rhythm. We're close. He promised support, his tone a steady anchor. The victory was mine. Vince's credibility shaken, my business thriving, but a new threat loomed from human hands. The next day, I met Ray at a mechanic's workshop near East Austin, the scent of freshly cut metal and the buzz of tools grounding me amid the market's tension, the clatter of wrenches a steady beat. His furrowed brow scanned the notice, demo data, and a ledger of lost vendor deals, his presence a calm in the storm. This is dealership intimidation, he said, his fingers tracing the letterhead. Go public with the takeover and secure your gains. Your father's the key, his network's faltering. I nodded, my mind racing with determination, the sound of a passing car a distant motivator. I contacted eco-automotive investors, planning a star takeover acquisition event to secure my father's lot, costing $16,000 and dipping my savings to -$3,000. A bold move backed by a small business loan that tightened my financial hold. At my garage, I briefed my team, 3 restorers, a livestream host, gathered in the workspace, the air warm with the hum of machinery. We're under attack, I said, showing evidence of supply cuts and rumors. Their faces hardened, rallying with a nod, their trust a bulwark. My venture earned $14,000 monthly, a rise from my father's shadow, but peril loomed. I spent $15,000 on alternative vendors and security, the loan a tightrope I balanced. Ray's update came that evening, his voice cutting through a tense line. He'd secured a lead investor, eyeing my father's $3.2 million lot valuation, its sales down 22% since my campaign exposed his inefficiencies. His vendor network's the fracture, Ray said, his words sharp. Take it now. I shared it with my team, drafting terms as energy surged, the garage alive with planning. I launched a Star Classic restoration line, booking $28,000 and earning $16,000, each build a defiance of my father's doubt. My savings rose to $13,000 with the loan valuation at $70,000, a milestone of pride. Mia called, urging reconciliation, but I hung up, the car sales sting too raw. The rivalry shadowed my gains. A supply chain crisis struck days later, my father and Vince cutting off my eco-vendors, forcing a 2-day halt as I scrambled for new deals, the air thick with frustration. The police noted it as a business tactic, but progress was slow. I called Ray, who suggested a live reveal. I drafted, from car sale to car lot, I won't falter. The virtual event, with a backup system, drew 2,500 attendees. My pitch exposed my father's flaws, the story, daughter takes dad's lot, boosting bookings to $32,000 monthly, though tension grew. Ray's report revealed my father's panic and Vince's part theft via a mole. He's dispensable, Ray said. Investors want your vision. I formed a Star Alliance, fortifying the garage with $11,000 in security, savings at $2,000. The sabotage probe uncovered Vince's fake reviews, costing $12,000. Police raided his shop. Mia confessed my father's ego blinded him. Vince's influence faded by 75%. Victory transformed my world. Savings hit $75,000 with $35,000 monthly from the line and $22,000 from a car show deal, valuation at $90,000. I upgraded Lone Star rides to a lot space, celebrating with barbecue under string lights. But a text arrived. You've crossed a line. Step back. Ray traced it to a burner, likely my father's team. A rival outbid me with manipulated bids and my site was hacked with smear campaigns. But I launched a Texas Future Fund for $85,000, the show growing to $24,000 monthly. A figure lingered near the lot. Ray suggested Vince's aid. I added $13,000 in surveillance, savings at $80,000. Standing there, dawn aglow, I felt a win. My father's lot near, but the step back loomed. Was it revenge? Coalition? I sipped coffee, the figure watching. What was next? Hey, Revenge Tempest fans. Tessa's journey from car sale to car lot is epic. Loved it? Smash that subscribe button and join our crew. Drop a comment and tell us where you're watching from.